Today we are going to start the exercise 7.1 from the chapter number 7, cubes and cube roots. Actually, we had discussed some properties regarding the cubes. Whatever be the properties are there, those properties we are going to use in order to find out the cubes, or in order to consider the another concept, like whether we are going to identify the given numbers are perfect cube numbers or not, like this. So different types of examples are there, and in each type of example we are going to use the different methods we are going to follow to solve those examples. Now the first example from the exercise 7.1, if we consider that example, then it is very simple type of example. Here we have to just identify which of the following numbers are not perfect cubes. Here we have to identify which of the following are not a perfect cube. That only we have to find. But which method we are going to use, that is very important. Now we had considered some properties of cube or perfect cube numbers. Uh, One very important property is there, and if we discuss that property is like this. In case of perfect cube numbers, in case of perfect cube numbers, the prime factors, those we are considering the prime factors, the each prime factor is repeated thrice. That means it is repeating 3 times. So in other words, we can say that we are getting the triplets of each prime factor for the given perfect cube number. If for the given number each prime factor is not repeating 3 times, then you can say it as a that number is not a perfect cube number. That is not a perfect cube. So therefore, in order to find out, or in order to solve the first example, we are going to use that property, and for that purpose we required prime factor. So as we require the prime factor, so that means the method we are going to use is prime factorization method. So here, in order to find out whether that number is perfect cube or not, we require prime factor, and in order to obtain the prime factor, we are going to use the prime factorization method. So which is very important method that already we had discussed in the squares and square roots also. Now the first sub question is 216. Instead of sub question, we can say that the first number is given 216, and here we have to find whether this number is perfect cube or not. That only we are going to find. Now in order to find out whether this number is perfect cube or not, we are going to use the factorization method. So therefore, if we consider the prime factorization of the number 216, then we are going to obtain those prime factors as follows. We know that in order to obtain the prime factors, we are starting with 2. That means the first prime factor is either 2 or 3. And how to decide which prime factor we are going to take? So it totally depends on the given number. Given number. So here, if we consider the given number, then the given number is actually 216. If we consider the given number, then it is 216. And if we observe the nature of that number, the nature of that number is even. That means that number is even. That number is even. So here, in case of prime factorization, if the given number is even number, then we are starting with 2. That means the first prime factor is going to be even, and if that number is odd, then the first prime factor is going to be odd. But here 216 is a even number, so therefore obviously the first prime factor is going to be 2. The first prime factor is going to be 2. That means we are going to divide this 212 by 2, sorry, 216 by 2, and after dividing it, we are getting it like this, 108. After dividing 216 by 2, we are getting 108. So the first prime factor is 2, and after dividing it by 2, we are getting 108. So next number is now 108. Now again observe the next number obtained, whether it is odd or even. So if it is odd, divide it by 3, and if it is even, then we have to divide it by 2. So by observing this number, it is clear that 108 is an even number, and as it is an even number, then the next prime factor is again going to be 2. The next prime factor is again going to be 2. So again here we are going to divide this 108 with the help of 2. So if you divide it, then you can divide it very easily. 108 divided by 2. So you know that 2 5s are 10 and 2 4s are 8. So that means the division is 54. The division is 54. That means next number is now 54. Again this 54 is a even number. So therefore again we are going to divide it by 2. As it is a even number, again we are going to divide it by 2. So 54 divided by 2, 54 divided by 2, it is going to be 27. It is going to be 27. Now here the nature of number is changed. First three numbers, that means 216, 108 and 54, they are even numbers, but here 27 is now odd numbers. 27 is now odd number. So that means we are going to divide this 27 with the help of odd prime factor. So here first odd prime factor is 3. So therefore we are going to divide it by 3. If the given odd number is not divisible by 3, then we can move to the next prime factor, which is 5. Again, if it is not divisible by 5, then you can move to the 7 like this. But here 27 is divisible by 3, so there is no need to move further. So we can divide it by 3. So we all know that 9 3s are 27. So therefore the division is 9. Again 9 is an odd number, and again it is divisible by 3. So therefore we have to divide it by 3. 3 3s are 9. So remainder is 3. That means quotient is 3, again which is an odd number, and 3 divided by 3, that is going to be 1. So here we have to continue that prime factorization until the remainder is 1. Until that remainder is 1. So up to where we have to complete this, or we have to use this factorization method until that remainder is 1. Now here the remainder is 1. Remainder is 1. So our prime factorization method was completed. It is completed. So therefore we have to consider the prime factors now. So first prime factor is 2, second is 2, third is 2, then 3, 3 and 3. And if we write 216 in a proper form, then we can write it like this: 2 into 2 into 2 into 3 into 3 into 3. That means we can express that number in prime factors, and we had expressed that. And if we observe all these prime factors very carefully, then it is found that 2 is the first prime factor, and it is repeated 3 times. You can easily see that 1 2 3. So it is repeated thrice, or we can say that it is repeated 3 times. It is repeated 3 times. Then if you observe the second prime factor, which is 3, then 3 is also repeated 3 times. 3 is also repeated 3 times. So therefore both the prime factors 2 and 3, they are repeated 3 times. That means we can say that each prime factor of 216 forming the triplet, forming the triplet, this word is also acceptable, forming the triplet. So therefore we can say that 216 is a perfect cube, or it is a cube number. It is a perfect cube or cube number. And what will be the cube cube root of this 216? Then you have to just take the product of this prime factor 2 and 3. 2 3 is a 6, so 216 is a cube of 6. 216 is a cube of 6. So in this way, by using the prime factorization method, we can find out whether the given number is perfect cube or not. So here all the prime factors are repeated 3 times, that means they form the triplet. So therefore the given number 216 is considered to be perfect cube number. If instead of 216, that means if there are triplets are not formed, then we can say that the given number is not a perfect cube number. So in this way, by using the prime factorization method, we had obtained whether that number is a perfect cube or not. Here the second example is going to like this, 128. So next number is 128. Now again, the first thing is that you have to observe that number before obtaining the solution. The condition should be clear. The given number is even number. The given number is even number. So if we are going to consider the prime factorization of this 128, as it is a even number, then obviously similar to that of first example, its prime factors are also going to start with 2 because it is a even number. So now again we are going to consider the prime factors. So first of all, write down that given number as it is 128. Now here the first prime factor is going to be 2 because 128 is an even number. So you have to just divide it. You know that 2 6 are 12 and 2 4s are 8. So therefore 128 divided by 2 is going to be 64. Is going to be 64. Now again 64 is even number. 64 is even number. 64 is even number. So again we are going to divide it by even number, that means 2. So therefore 64 divided by 2, it is going to be 32. It is going to be 32. Then 32 is a even number. So therefore 32 divided by 2, it is going to be 16. Again 16 is a even number. So 16 divided by 2 is 8. Again 8 is an even number. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. Then 4 is an even number. 4 divided by 2 is going to be 2. Now 2 is an even number. So again lastly we are going to divide it by 2, and after dividing it we are getting 1 as a remainder. So in this way we are each time we are getting the even number. So that's why each time we are dividing it by 2. That means each time we are getting the prime factor as a 2. Therefore final remainder is 1. Now our process is stopped. So we have to continue this prime factorization until the remainder is 1. Until the remainder is 1. Up to that point we have to continue this prime factorization. Now here if we write that 128 in the form of prime factors, then we are going to use all the prime factors here. Now here if we see that 2 which is repeated actually 7 times, that 2 is repeated 7 times. Okay, so here by mistakenly that 1 2 is additional. Okay, so it is repeated 7 times. You can count it how many times it is repeated. So here if we consider all the prime factors: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So this 2 is repeated 7 times. So we are going to indicate this 128 like this: 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. So we have taken 7 times that 2. And if we take the triplets now, triplet means each prime factor should be repeated 3 times. Each prime factor should be repeated 3 times. So therefore, if we consider first triplet, then it is going to like this: 2 into 2 into 2, that is going to be first triplet. Then next triplet is 2 into 2 into 2, that is going to be second triplet. And here this remaining 2 is additional. Now this remaining 2 is additional. That means it is not forming triplet, it is alone. It is alone. That means the next prime factor 2 is not repeating 3 times. So it is only single time. It is present only single time. So if we compare with our condition, then our condition is like this: if the given prime factor is repeated 3 times, or if it is forming the triplets, then only the given number is referred as a perfect cube. But here in case of 128, the triplets are not formed for the prime factor 2. So therefore, the conclusion will be different now. Here, each prime factor is not repeated. See the difference. In first case, we had taken it is repeated, but here it is not repeating. That's why it is not repeated. How many times? It is not repeated 3 times. That is, triplets are not formed. Triplets are not formed. Therefore, 128 is not a perfect cube, or it is not considered as a cube number. So in this way, we are considering the prime factorization method, and with the help of this prime factorization method, we can consider whether the given number is a perfect cube or not. That is very important. So in this way, we had obtained the solution for the question number 1. That means we had identified the numbers which are perfect cube or not. So first one is a perfect cube and second one is not a perfect